Yeah, well, it's a dull and rainy day today, and I thought, well, this sort of times you start thinking or remembering your past and what's on. And I thought, well, you were talking about shopping and what you need for food on a day out or in on traveling in while traveling in generally. So there's actually quite a lot happening if you get into this village shops. Yes, little village shops, and I really love them. People up there, they're so well, they're sweet in generally. They are wary about because you're a stranger, yeah. But once they discover you are not uh, a dangerous maniac, yeah, they get really, really friendly and they almost take you into the family. Well, they do actually. So I just went through, because it's a rainy day, yeah, and I went through some of my past traveling events, and I did some really extensive long-term traveling, about 3 months, for instance, and I get back to the shops, yeah, because once you're traveling, you're passing through quite a few shops, just for stocking up your food supply and stuff. And so you have to interact with this village people, right? And even if you don't speak their language, the universal language of interacting is understandable everywhere in the world. You only have to do simple suggestions and talk slowly and be friendly, smile, and opens every heart, yeah. So I cut in some pictures I made during the race. There's stills, and they're quite funny actually. Imagine you get into a little village shop for getting some food supply, and I cut actually one picture in there. It's Yeah, this one. It's a village girl, yeah, in the shop, a shopkeeper, and she got this T-shirt on, and it's "Wanna be the next it girl." Yeah, I thought, well, uh, she must have been either she didn't know what's written on her chest, or it was just, well, it's a sort of, village people. They're honest. They're just as they are. They don't pretend to be anything. They just live in their daydreams and doing their daily jobs and caring about their family and stuff. And I really love this sort of events. And this picture actually was made in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yeah. I visited a friend, Aziz, up there, and we went into the shop just to get a few vegetables and stuff for the evening barbecue. And yeah, so I'll just show you another one. That's my mate or friend Aziz. He was actually a refugee after the Yugoslavian war. He came to Germany and went in the same workshop where I was working. So I know him for about 20 years, and it's a sort of stuff, And interacting with village people, you're surprised on what you get pulled into, yeah. It's the local traffic policeman, the one in the blue shirt, yeah. So he was actually stopping the traffic for making alcohol, blow tests and stuff. So we went across the street, yeah, into the next pub, and he had a beer and a raki, and we were just playing along, and I put his hat on, made a picture, and it was just fun, I mean, that's sort of, I didn't speak any Bosnian or Serbish language, so, but that just happens, this sort of stuff, yeah. And while I actually went on through Turkey, and you come in Turkey, you come across this village people, they're waiting for the local bus, yeah, and with the children and the women, really, really classic, with the mosque in the background, and just stop by and you get friendly with these people, and often, you just get pulled in to the next tea house, having a tea with the locals, and this guy actually spoke perfectly German because he was working in Germany, not very far from where I'm living actually. And he took me into his family and his sister and mother and father. He invited me for a meal, it's just not. That's what's happening, yeah. And while I was stopping by, I just have to look at now. This is another one. If you stop by in shops, yeah, just village shops, you are a bit as an attraction, yeah, because people, especially the children, they actually, you are like a magnet for the locals, because there's not much happening, and so they instantly, it's like a bunch of flies getting onto you, but they keep the distance. It's not like they just grab you and stuff, but that's the sort of events that actually happened while you're on the road, yeah. Yes, one thing, and it actually can even draw you into almost a marriage. This is funny. This is really funny, because I went on through Turkey. First of all, I went through all the Balkan states, yeah, then crossed the Bosporus to Turkey, all the way across Turkey up to the end, to the Georgian border, yeah, the Caucasian Georgia, not the Americans, and I just, drove my way and came across, and I came into this village, and it was a really hot and dry day, right? So I almost passed this little village shop once I realized it's a shop where I can actually stock up, yeah? So I turned around, and this shopkeeper woman actually was standing in the doorway, yeah? In the doorway, and she was almost horrified seeing me approaching, yeah? Because I just try to find, if I can find one of the way how I actually were traveling, yeah? Traveling on a black motorcycle, yeah, enduro style, all covered up in black. Got interrupted by a phone call. As I want to show, that's the way how I actually traveled through the Balkan, Turkey and Georgia, like a black knight on an enduro motorcycle, all covered in black, and had a good time. So in that style, I actually crossed this village, this Georgian little village, passing that village shop, and this girl standing in a where is it? Bloody hell! In the shop doorway, yeah, with some local kids around, and so I stopped, went in there, and she was horrified seeing this black guy, all covered like a yeah, whatever. And she thought, I'm gonna rob her, rape her, and I don't know what was flashing through her little mind. So I went into the shop and she was really cautious. Yeah, and I just thought, oh yeah, hello, and want to do shopping, yeah, and pick some biscuits and bread and like what I want. And she started relaxing, yeah, and then an old woman, an old dear, all dressed in black, like the old widows, yeah, these village widows, typically in the Mediterranean, yeah, all covered in black, grieving for their lost. Anyway, she came into the shop, yeah, and sitting down on a chair, and how village people are, they are very socializing and sitting there and chatting, yeah, there's no telly around. So anyway, and then obviously it was her auntie, and then this old woman, and I was about, picking stuff, putting it on the counter, and she, just spent some time there, poking around in the shelves, what would be useful for my pack and further traveling. So this old dear actually started, Catholic, pointing at me, yeah, and pointing at the girl, yeah, Catholic, and I thought, oh, careful, said, no, I'm not Catholic, no church, no nothing, no religion, yeah. She wanted to hook me up with her niece in the shop. Well, that's what village people are about, getting married, having a husband, getting kids, having a quiet life, and that's what village life is about. Anyway, and I really had a good laugh, and then it was really a relaxed situation, and then obviously once a motorcycle turning up in a little village, the children turning up, yeah, so more children turned up, and some of them started speaking English. Yeah, they had it in school, and they were actually quite possibility for them to put the English lessons into practice. So and more came in, and I just carried on poking, and I looked around what were useful to me, and so I asked for cheese, yeah, because they had bread, rolls, and stuff. I thought, well, it would be nice to have some cheese with it, yeah. And they didn't have any refrigerator or cheese in the shop, yeah. They only had all this dry stuff, noodle, rice, biscuits, alcohol, lots of alcohol, yeah. This sort of stuff, cigarettes, and all this stuff, yeah. So this old women, yeah, I'm actually talking to her so a bit, and I used the universal language. I said, cheese, yeah, Käse. I said, moo, milking, packing, steering, packing, cutting, cheese. Ah, she said, yes, yeah. And she went out the door. And I thought, well, let's wait. Why not start chatting with the kids? And a few minutes later, she came back with a plastic bag, yeah, and a huge lump of white cheese, like the mozzarella type. It was like a disc like that, yeah. Really, it was 30 centimeter across a disc that said mozzarella. Homemade mozzarella cheese, yeah, in wet, salty. Well, that's what she made herself at home, yeah. And so yeah, perfect, that's what I want. And so, how much money? Yeah, oh, and five euros. Oh, no problem, €5, and wanted to give her the note, yeah. And said, no, I have to pay it to her niece in the shop. All right, paid in the shop. So that was settled. That's how you can interact with the locals. Hold on a sec, just get a zip. It's tea time, isn't it? Anyway, so that was that, and made some pictures of the kids, and they were good fun. It was really good fun. And I don't know what was happening with this shopkeeper girl. Once I actually went onto my motorbike and waved them all goodbye and hugged them, like give them a hug. And the Black Knight disappeared on his black shiny horse in the dust, yeah, waving goodbye. That must have been their picture she had in mind, and all her dreams about getting married through night came out, or prince out of the distance. Must have been blown in dust, I don't know. But I just thought it would be nice to tell you about this sort of stuff. And that's what's happening when you go into little village shops, yeah. And I love it, yeah. So don't be afraid about the locals. They are really sweet. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little event. That's how I spent my dull day, rainy day. It's a nice cup of tea, summer on, and yeah, doing this. See you next time. Bye.